This is John 7:35. Then said, notice that word has an I there. There was no J. Lock it. This is from the King James Version, 1611. So a lot of you claim to love so-called Jesus, but there's no letter J, and you hold on real strong to that. Then said that an I is a continuation. It's like a continuation of the Y. I'll show you right now. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? And that he they're talking about is Yahushua. Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? So we're going to get some understanding on what Gentiles can be taught. Because a lot of you Christians say, he came for everybody. And you're holding on to lies, man. You're holding on to lies. You're just crazy. If you can't open your mind to understand what these words really came from, and when you go back to where they came from, you understand what they mean. So there's a few questions right here. What is the dispersed, and which Gentiles can you teach? And plus the letter J. Alright, so let's go to John 7:5 in the HNV. And it's just oh, let's see, it doesn't give you a description of what it is. But basically, the words that are supposed to be in Hebrew, they're translated to have a closer relationship to the translated word. In other words, it's not a transliteration to a different letter. Okay, so they're going to keep the same letter to describe the things, right? So remember in the last scripture, same scripture, John 7:35, it didn't say Jews, it said IEWES. And then this one, it's saying Yehudim, okay? Which is just another, what's it called? Aramaic or something? Not Aramaic. Dang it, it skips my mind. It's Ashkenaz Jew. It's a language, but the Yehudim therefore said among themselves, where will this man go, that we won't find him? Will he go to the diaspora among the Yavanim and teach the Yavanim? Yiddish, yeah, they're using Yiddish. Okay, so let's go into these words and let's do some reverse engineering type thing. So right here it says the Jews, right? And we know that that was I, but why is it J right here? Because the J is an invention. First time it came about was 1632. Alright. But the word we're looking for is diaspora. Because we gotta find out what Gentiles qualify. We have to make sure that we understand that it doesn't mean an Edomite. It doesn't mean a Japhite. It doesn't mean a Hamite. And it doesn't even mean all of the Shemites, the Semitic people, because so-called Jews like to say that they're only Semites. They're the only Semites. That's anti-Semitic. That's what they say, but we're all Semites. The majority of the earth is Semite. Okay, then that just means going back to the line of Shem. which Noah had 3 sons, and they repopulated the earth after the flood. It was Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Alright, so that's in the outline of biblical usage: a scattering, dispersion, A, of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. And it says on B, of the Christians scattered abroad among the Gentiles. Well, that's a term right there. The word Christians go back to perhaps Christus, but also back to Antiochus Epiphanes. And Antioch, because all the Israelites tells you right here were dispersed among the foreign nations. So now we're going to go with that, and I'm going to explain a little bit of something. Okay, so now this is the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And we're going to go. Let's go back over here. Alright, let's start at 37. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 37. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for the wicked life are fallen into tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts. Right, because the inventions of the nations are wicked, and that's called persuasion or influence. Because if you're living amongst other people, you're going to do as other people. And that's just stone cold. That's just it. Okay? And the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor, by the law which is like unto fire. And that's talking about these Christian Gentiles that aren't part of the church, and they're tormented by our words. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, and that says those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So let's look at this is 2 Kings 17 and 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria, and that king of Assyria is Shalmaneser, and deported the Israelites to Assyria. So now I'm showing you how these things happen. How does one people get moved out of their original place where they're supposed to be, where the Most High put them at, where He wanted them at? So now I got to explain why they're getting moved, getting deported. All right, because they were breaking the laws. They were doing wicked things. They had to get punished. And you can look up King Shalmaneser and put him in a place and time around 700 BC. And that's what the word deported, and goes back to the diaspora, because you're taking someone and scattering them. Of Israelites dispersed among the foreign nations. So now you know that the Israelites were deported in the 9th year of King Hoshea. The king of Assyria captured Samaria and deported the Israelites to Assyria. Okay, so now you know that. And the only people that can accept the Lord Yahushua or Mashiach and are not Latino, Negro, or Native American are the confusion of faith, which are Israelites that were deported from Israel in different captivities. And I'm just showing you about my personal captivity, because I'm from the tribe of Issachar. That's how we got here. And throughout different captivities and different kingdoms and different times, the other Israelites got dispersed and deported throughout the whole globe. So those people right now are living amongst other nations, and they have become what is known as Hellenists. And the word, this is a Smith Bible Dictionary. Hellenist is Grecian, the term applied in the New Testament to Greek-speaking or Grecian Jews. Okay? So when it's talking about Greeks, or it's talking about Gentiles, it just dropped a bomb on you. All you Christians watching this need to take yourselves into consideration and say, if I want to have a relationship with the Lord of Mashiach, it's got to be because I'm an Israelite. And you got to get rid of that fucking calling yourself white or whatever you think you are. And then you got to stop calling me a racist, because I ain't no damn racist. Okay? And then you got to do some soul searching. Can I accept that the Messiah and his father are big, strong, angry Negro men? And he has a special love for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Let me read that again. Grecian, the term applied in the New Testament to Greek-speaking or Grecian Jews. Okay? The Hellenists as a body included not only the proselytes of Greek or foreign parentage, okay, because they are Jews or Israelites that spoke different tongues in different lands that wasn't Israel, but also those. Alright, let's read that. I messed that up. The Hellenists as a body included not only the proselytes of Greek or foreign parentage, but also those Jews who by settling in foreign countries had adopted the prevalent form of the current Greek civilization, and with it they used common Greek dialect. Boom, okay? Just boom. Now let's see. Alright, so it just came up. I should go back. Let's go back. Alright. And this is Acts 6:1. And in those days when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. So those Grecians, tells you right here, Smith Bible's Dictionary, Grecian, a term applied to the New Testament in the New Testament to Greek-speaking or Grecian Jews. Jews who, by settling in foreign countries, had adopted the prevalent form of the current Greek civilization, which means that this is still going on. It happened in the Greek times, and then we came over here to the Americas, and then Christopher Columbus brought the fucking devils over here. Well, he's a devil too. And then we started speaking Spanish and different forms of Spanish and English and French and Portuguese and different other tongues, okay? So, in conclusion, the only people that can have a relationship with Yahushua Mashiach as a mediator to his father Yahweh are the diaspora, if they're not Negro, Latino, or Native American, okay? So we know, and I have explained it, and I'm going to say it again, if you call yourself loving the Bible, and you, no matter what we say, not black Hebrew Israelites, because there's no such thing as black, but Hebrew Israelites, if we say, and you can't accept that only Israelites can be saved, then guess what? You're not an Israelite, you're not a Gentile, because only those Grecians, Jews who by settling in foreign countries adopted the prevalent form of the current civilization, then you can't be saved. Okay? So get that out of your thick skull. You can't be saved unless you're an Israelite. Shalom. Kahalayim, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Bracha Kodash.